Welcome, moviegoers. How are we doing? Good, good. Do you have your ticket? All right, what do we have here? Real Swell. Good choice. You want to be in Auditorium 33, straight ahead and to the right. Enjoy. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider Man, Episode 5. Picking back up from Episode 4, Harry now knows that Peter Parker is Spider Man. Harry, Norman, and Peter are now in this awkward situation where they need to talk about it and figure out what we're going to do from here. Turns out that Norman has a business to run and other endeavors to attend to, and he suggests that Harry steps in and helps Spider Man when he's out on the streets fighting crime. Now, I mentioned in the recap for the previous episode that Norman was trying to be Spider Man's guy in the chair. Well, Harry throws out the idea that he becomes Spider Man's dude at the desk. Okay, fine. So now we've got Harry at this desk being Spider Man's guy. In the previous episode, I also mentioned how there seemed to be this Rhino type character. Well, in episode 5, they kind of give us the Rhino, except it's a woman who's wearing a helmet that shoots lasers out of a horn on top, and she calls herself the Unicorn. Um, okay. Now, it being a woman isn't the issue. The issue is Unicorn? Just be Rhino. I don't I don't understand why that had to change. That's the weird part. So, the Unicorn is rampaging throughout the city, and she has a pretty good fight with Spider Man. And we again get reminded that there is no spider sense. That's just not a thing. Or it's not a thing yet. Because he just gets beat up for no reason. Uh, we meet Otto Octavius, and he's got his yellow and green suit on already, except he's nowhere near to creating his arms. But he is stockpiling a bunch of money working on some kind of technology that they just hint at. We don't know what he's working on or what he's doing, but he is very upset, very jealous, very envious that his name isn't mentioned with the Starks or the Osborns. It was a third name he threw out there. But he considers himself to be a genius and a tech genius, and he thinks he should be in the conversation with all these other great minds around the world. So he's bitter about that and is working on something to put his name on the map. We look at Lonnie Lincoln some more. He is called to assist in a gang war, a turf war with the Scorpions. Mac Gargan, he's there leading the charge, along with Big Donovan, who is the leader of the 110th Street Gang. That's the gang that Lonnie was put into and volunteered for to help his brother escape. They are in this tussle. We've got 6 or 7 on each side, and they're fighting in this parking lot. It's actually a pretty contained space. But Gargan is about to run up on the leader of the 110th Street Gang because he's in a fight with someone else. And he's got this knife. He's running up on him, and he's about to stab him. And Lonnie tackles him, saving Big Donovan's life. And at that point, the police come, and everybody just scatters. Well, they get back to the hideout. They get back to the spot, and everyone is praising Lonnie for having saved Big Donovan. And someone mentions that they should call him Gravesight for how he laid out the Matt Gargan. He didn't kill him, but he just laid him out. Metaphorically, that's how they phrased it. And Big Donovan says, no, let's call him Tombstone. And that's how he gets his name, because he tackled somebody to the ground. That's cool, I guess. I wish that it came from a different source. I wish there was a different reason he went by Tombstone. But that's the explanation we're given. We also learn that Harry Osborn is a socialite. He's a social media influencer. He's homeschooled. Because Norman is so rich, he just buys Harry everything, including schooling. So he's homeschooled. And all he does is sit at home and be rich. And that takes a toll on him, being, a 15, 16-year-old kid. And he's looking for friends. That's why he was so eager to be the guy at the desk for Spider-Man. So I can't knock him for that, except it's just cliche at this point. Like, that's the era that we're living in now, where the biggest problem that rich people have is being rich. Like, that's the thing now to do, to be. So that's the characteristic that they gave to Harry. I said this in the last recap. I don't know what story they're telling. We haven't seen Doctor Strange again, or that multiversal fight. We haven't seen that Venom character again, but we are still getting our heads beat in with this message about the Sokovia Accords. There's some quippiness between characters about Iron Man and Civil War and who's right and who's on the run and all these things. I'm not entirely sure where this is going. They seem to want to say something. They've got a message that they're trying to convey through these characters and through this story, but it doesn't seem like we're getting a Spider-Man story. We've got a lot of characters who are recognizable from the comics, from the universe. We're getting a lot of references to the MCU, but we're not getting a Spider-Man story. This doesn't feel like a Spider-Man story at all. But episode 6 is going to come out at some point this week. Excuse me. Episode 6 is going to come out at some point this week, and I don't know how many other episodes are going to release, since 3, 4, and 5 released this past week. I wasn't aware of that. So I'll be looking out for whatever releases and continue these recaps. Hopefully, I've got better things to say about them as they come out. It seems like it's been all negative to this point, and I don't mean for it to be. It's just what I'm seeing and how I am reacting to it. So until next time, thank you, and I will see you later. Thank you for coming to this reading of Real Swell. As you head out, I've got 3 things to ask of you. 1, pick up your trash. These ushers don't get paid enough. 2, make sure that you're following so you don't miss the next screening. And 3, hit that heart for me. I'll see you next time. Make sure you've got your ticket.